Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Today, we're going to be discussing N'Golo Kante. We're going to be discussing the potential of Kante being done. People are saying that N'Golo Kante is no longer the same player. The form is a little bit too consistently less than what it has been over the years from Kante in the Premier League since he signed for Leicester, moved to Chelsea, and if anything, got even better than he already was in a brilliant Leicester City side that won the Premier League. People are saying now that Chelsea may well be considering selling N'Golo Kante in the summer with the midfielders they've got coming through, with the likes of Conor Gallagher on loan, Billy Gilmour being promoted to the first team, Ruben Loftus-Cheek being like a new signing back from injury, Mason Mount's progression, Kovacic and Jorginho's partnership. Is this the end for N'Golo Kante at Chelsea? Is it a good idea for Chelsea to entertain the sale, considering the amount of money that they could probably summon for N'Golo Kante from a rival club in Europe? So, we're going to be entertaining that discussion today. First things first, little pointless flex for no reason other than just a little GBFC ego boost. N'Golo Kante follows me on Twitter. Someone following you on social media does not mean that it takes away from my overall goal in the world, which is to follow Chelsea Football Club, and the success of Chelsea Football Club comes above and beyond any affiliation that I may well have to an individual player off the pitch on social media. Like, it's totally irrelevant. So the fact that Kante follows me does not mean that I'm not going to sit here today and entertain the idea that it might be better for Chelsea to actually sell the man in the summer. So we've got the likes of Conor Gallagher, who's currently out on loan at Swansea. Had a very good first half of the season in the Championship for Charlton. He's got the move to Swansea. It is a step up in that division. He looks like a player who in the future could have a future at Chelsea. He's got a lot of great ability. Billy Gilmour, he's the one that everybody's talking about in terms of making that step up. He's been promoted to the first team. If I was making daily videos, I'd have probably addressed this a while ago. But when I watch Billy Gilmour play, there is an element of Cesc Fabregas. There's also a tenacity that I think could be huge for Chelsea going forward. You've also got Mason Mount, who splits opinion amongst a few, but the work rate, the ability to strike the ball, the way he can pass the ball, is something that will definitely continue to improve, and he's obviously Lampard's man, who we've seen him back all season, and I think Mason's a great player and brings a lot to Chelsea. You've also got Jorginho, J5, the man who a lot of people questioned, a lot of people thought last season that he wasn't the player that we thought we were bringing in. But this year, we've seen at times that he's got that captain's mentality, he's got that leadership that Chelsea don't necessarily have in abundance within this squad, and he's also got that ability to pick a pass, can play in front of the defence, but can also transition the play for Chelsea in a progressive manner going forward. You've also got Mateo Kovacic, who's been, without question this season, Chelsea's best player overall. There's been some brilliant individual performances. We can't deny Tammy Abraham's goals, but there's also been spells where he's not been as good as we'd like him to be. Mason Mount's had a great breakthrough season. Pulisic's first season in the Premier League's been decent. There's been great performances. Tomori, a couple of defenders as well here and there. But Mateo Kovacic has been the most consistent. And I think in terms of right now, what the best partnership is in the middle of the park for Chelsea, I really enjoy the combinations between Jorginho and Mateo Kovacic. You've got Jorginho to win the ball back, you've got Kovacic to put in the big tackles and progress the play by dribbling forwards with the ball. And I think that in terms of the styles and abilities and the form that we're seeing at the moment, those two complement each other better than an N'Golo Kante with a partner, or an N'Golo Kante alongside both of them. The issue with Kante for me at this moment in time all stems back from playing through that injury in the Europa League final against Arsenal. Yes, we got another European trophy. Yes, we dismantled our London rivals in Baku and Azerbaijan. Beautiful night. And then the next day, I played a game on that pitch and saved a penalty, which is something that Petr Cech, our director of football, but Arsenal player at the time, couldn't do. So yeah, just another little personal ego boost that I had to remind you of there. Louis Beneventi was the man who took the penalty. He's going to hate me for bringing this one up again, but I'll never let him forget it. It's one of those things where we look back on what it was, probably, that triggered these little injuries that N'Golo Kante keeps getting. It probably was playing through that game in the Europa League final when he should not have been on the pitch. So all season long, we've seen Kante recover from this injury, then he gets another injury. He recovers, has a good game, has a couple of dodgy games, gives the ball away. He's missing tackles that he always would have made, and he's off the pace, and he's never really regaining his full tenacity and his full fitness. I think the best game I've seen of Kante for quite some time was the match away at Leicester. We didn't even win that game, we drew 2-2. So in terms of being a match winner and a difference maker, we know that N'Golo Kante's had the ability. We know that over the years in the Premier League, he's won games for Leicester, he's won copious amounts of games for Chelsea as well. We are seeing consistency, but with injuries that are keeping him out of the team for a month at a time. If Chelsea are looking to build a team for the future, N'Golo Kante's age and his style of play and his build, his stature, may well not see him go on to be a central midfielder that can play at this intensity for, say, the length of time that a Frank Lampard did. I know it's very different positions, but the nature of Kante's game, and again, I bring it back to his build, I've mentioned this earlier in the season, I don't know if N'Golo Kante is going to be able to keep this going at the level he's going at, has been going at, for so long. I don't think it's going to be N'Golo Kante, 35 years old, still winning the ball back and putting in the crunching tackles and sprinting up and down the pitch. So we then bring the conversation not to form, not to injuries, we bring it to money, we bring it to finances, and Chelsea's other crop of midfielders that we've got, central midfielders. We've been linked with players like Matthias Vecino, who I'm not going to talk about that too much. If you want to go and see my good friend Jan's video, he mentions that geezer. He's like a 28-year-old from Inter Milan. We've been linked with Sergej Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio, another very, very good midfielder. We've also got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who I completely forgot to mention amongst the abundance of central midfielders at Chelsea. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, as long as, touch wood, and I'm banging the flipping TV unit that's made out of wood, as long as he doesn't ever have any repercussions from what was a dreadful injury, Loftus-Cheek's going to feel like a new signing as well. He brings that physical nature, he brings the ability to carry the ball, he's a lot more aggressive going forward, and he's a better finisher than N'Golo Kante as well. So when we look at it from all of these different sides and these different angles, you can entertain the idea that Chelsea may well be looking at all of these little things from the youth players and the other players we've got to come back with the transfer budget we've got available, the ability to be able to demand an extremely high fee still for N'Golo Kante. Now that is why Chelsea may well be considering selling. We look at what we could do for this summer in terms of the money that we could bring in for Kante. We could be looking in excess of £100 million. We bought in a load of money for Eden Hazard. A couple of seasons before, it could have been more, but it's still a huge sum of money. We've got the money coming in for Alvaro Morata. Chelsea, we look at what's happened to Manchester City. We never want to get into this position where we spend so much money, don't bring enough back in, that we get done over by financial fair play. These are things that if we're looking forward to like a 5-year plan, selling Kante now for maybe 120 million quid, let's just say 100 million pounds for argument's sake. It could be anything between like 80 to 140 million for N'Golo Kante, in my opinion. It's a huge broad sum, but that's probably what we're looking at. 100 million, or it could be a case of like a 50 million or a 40 million the following summer if the injuries persist, if his form goes down again, and the whole world of football is looking at Kante as someone who was a world-class player, but his career is dwindling out much faster than everyone may have expected due to a few injuries. So I personally don't want Kante to leave for my own personal love of the bloke. I think he's an unbelievable central midfielder who is not having a good season. And every player in the world goes through seasons where they're not necessarily as good as what they were in previous seasons. However, I know I've said this before, and I do want to give a definitive. At this moment in time, you guys are seeing this video on like February the 19th or something. I'm recording this the day before because I'm probably in the air, taking a flight right now whilst you're watching this. I would consider selling N'Golo Kante with the players that we have, with the ability we've still got to spend and to continue to develop this team. I would consider a bid over 100 million right now for N'Golo Kante from a Chelsea standpoint, from a moving forward for the future, securing our finances beyond anyone's comprehension. They're already pretty good. We could really cash in on N'Golo Kante if he carries on getting these injuries. If we don't see him put together any kind of string of form between now and the end of the season, we're not entirely sure how bad the current injury is. If we don't see him build upon and start creating some really good form between now and the end of the season, I would be open to selling. Now, I'd love to know what you guys have to say about this. I know it's one that really does split the Chelsea fan base, and I think that hopefully we've painted a story today of, you know, we all know he's a very good player. We don't just want to discard him just because he keeps getting injured and he's out of form this season. We don't want to just simply say, Kante's done, finished, see you later on. But it is something that we may need to consider if a massive bid comes in from a PSG, a Juventus, or a Real Madrid in the summer. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Also, let me know, do you think we'd need to replace N'Golo Kante by making a big money central midfield signing? Let me know who you think it should be, if it is going to be anyone, in the comments down below. And in a future video, we can go through some of those and we can put together some midfield options for Chelsea moving forward under Frank Lampard. As I said in the 6 things we learned, we're still not entirely sure on what Frank favours as his best formation and his best style of play. But between now and the end of the season, we're definitely going to see things change. We're going to see new options. When Ruben becomes available again, hopefully we can see him come in and own that central midfield with Kovacic and potentially Jorginho for Chelsea. But anyway, as always, hit the like button if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe to the George Benson Football channel if you're new and you haven't already done so. I will catch you all in the next video. Bye-bye.